Welcome back to the Extremely Average Podcast with your amazing, fabulous host, Red, and your subpar, feeble co-host, Goat. You know?
Okay. Uh-huh.
I'm
So I
just
won't be a bitch.
interrupting my
I'll let
beautiful.
you. I'll let you finish. No, go on. Go on.
Yeah. You know, before we started, like I even said, you're gonna love this intro. Like every week it's gonna be a new adjective to describe us.
Be a new
That's
iteration of the previous one.
yes,
Further
yes, yes, yes.
insulting me and putting yourself on a higher pedestal. Okay.
Exactly. That's what this is the podcast is about. Yes, but welcome back to season 2. Thank you, Olivia, still here, and thank you for watching. Enjoy. I can take it away, bro. Like Jesus.
I'm waiting to see if you have more to offer. But okay, I see.
What do you mean?
Like
It's a short. It's a very short one this time.
Yes. No, I see. But hello everyone. As usual, we have the two main hosts, Goat and Red.
Hello.
Goat, obviously being the one with the Goat profile, and then you have Red, the one with the same Gintama profile, even though he promised me that he would get a new one like a month ago.
I was supposed to get a new one. Yeah. I'll get a new one now.
Yeah, you were, and to upload it as well.
Yeah.
And then we have our good friend Priscilla on us as well. Lotus
Hey.
Blood.
Back from season 1.
Having me back again. Yeah.
Second guest. You are our second guest. You were supposed to be our second guest again, but technical difficulties happened. So now you're the first guest.
Yes.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Thanks. Honored to be back.
Honored to be back, damn fam. Honored to. I really know how much. 26 subscribers. I think.
Oh, I don't know.
It's growing. We'll take it as it's growing. Slowly but surely.
Yeah, of course. But on this topic of just growing and stuff, I've been going to the gym. Fucking what good. I guess so after that paintball incident.
Did you see how weak you were? And now you're trying to improve your feeble body, huh? Is that now it?
First of all, I went to the gym. First, okay, the reason I started going, I saw I was on Instagram one day, an ad popped up for Virgin Active. I'm like, oh yeah, nice, and it said, join now, 2 months free, plus 30-day Kawaii small smoothie free for the next 30 days. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Let me join.
The food got you, obviously. Nah, it's fine.
The smoothies. I've heard a lot about the Kawaii smoothies. Nice. So basically, I joined. I came back to Joburg, started going. Fucking hell, Jesus. My fucking. I don't know what fucking part of this. I know Achilles heel. And then the front part of it.
Your shins.
Your fucking. I don't know. I don't think it's a shin, fam.
The thing on the front of your leg, at the bottom of your leg. Yeah, that's your shins.
Yeah, it's your foot and then your leg, and then Achilles heel, and there's just between that's connecting the two, and then the front part. Is that the shin, fam? I thought the shin was. I thought the shin was the thing above. Oh well,
it's below your knee and above your ankles. That area is your shin at the front of the leg.
No, not that. Yeah, not that. It's the shin and then the below, it's the curve. From your shin, there's a curve to your foot, so basically that part, you're supposed to know the shit, man.
Yeah, but your description is so whack.
I even described it so well.
Are you talking about your hamstrings? But that's above the knee, attached.
No, not the. Bruh! Your shin, you see, your foot and your shin have a curve.
You mean
you can
your
see
ankle?
Curve.
You mean the ankle?
Okay, fine, your ankle. Yeah. But I thought this is a more proper term for the thing that's for in the front, but that part and my Achilles heel. Fuck, Jesus, bro. How bad it hurts.
You really need to go do some mobility stretches and things.
Okay, Jesus. I even Googled it and just Jesus. These words are not for me.
Well, you can send them to me. I'll try to see what the hell you're talking about quickly.
I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this. I don't think this is for just so basically this has been hurting for do you see the curve the word starting with the O? It's basically
No, that's
Arthritis.
osteoarthritis. That's a condition.
Yeah. But no, I'm trying to like tell you, like, you see like the part that the line is going through, straight, that curve. Yeah, I'm talking about that part. What
Okay.
muscles are there? Yeah, so basically that fucking hurts when I went the first time, And I've been wondering, like, why does it hurt so much? Like, I have to like, I'm walking like what of course I'm not gonna push myself to death. Oh, but this whole fucking thing I just went off a rant. Um, basically back to the story. Was when
Yeah.
I started gymming and stuff, and then I saw, I went last week, and I saw this old guy. He was sitting on he got this sitting lounge for parents to wait for their kids that are swimming.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
I'm like, okay, let me watch a video of bad posture, how to fix bad posture. And I'm like, my posture is not that bad that I can't
No,
fix
it's
it yet.
horrible.
No, it's not that bad, fam. I can still fix it. I'm still young. Then I saw this guy. I'm like, oh my god, that's
Oh, was he really hunchback or what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think his shoulders were up like almost the same height as his ears or something. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, oh my god, I am not becoming that. I am not becoming that.
Some of those
Um,
things, if I'm not mistaken, is quite genetic.
Yeah.
Like your parents, if they have scoliosis and those type things, you can just also have it. But obviously, old age and like being hunched over quite a lot and not stretching like your shoulders, they can
yeah,
lead
but,
to that
yeah.
as well. But Red, I just checked quickly in my textbook because I have it here next to me. The ligament that you have that go from like your heel, like over
Yeah.
that area that you showed,
Yeah.
that is called your inferior extensor retinaculum.
Oh,
Retinaculum. So that's like one of the many ligaments that you have that like keep all of your toe ligaments together, like attached to your foot, basically.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So
This is
that
why we have an
area.
in-house doctor, fam, that knows this kind of shit, that can guide us and say all the words properly.
I probably
I was fucking
butchered it
telling
in
us,
any way, but yeah. Okay.
oh,
go ahead.
it's still better than mine, like I was fucking telling you some diseases.
You were talking about osteoarthritis. Yeah, one of the most well-known diseases. Oh yeah, no, that part in the body, the osteoarthritis part.
Yeah, that part of it. So basically, that happened, and then today, like this is the whole thing was coming down to like me gymming. So I went today. Fucking hell, man. I went. I think it was on Friday. I went. And every time after I'm done with the gym, I go to Kawhi because it's inside. They always put Kawhi in
Yeah.
the gym.
And like close
So
to
I
the
went
door as
there.
well.
Yeah. So I went there. I'm like, hey, let me get my smoothie. I was ready. I was gonna get peanut butter bliss today, and I opened my app, and the thing expired.
The like month that you have?
Yeah. The month, the 30 free smoothies I had, it expired. I didn't know. I only had like 9 of them. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not even 1/3 of my. I didn't use it. I was so disappointed. I'm like, I could buy the subscription again. But it's 400 and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that shit, fam. I'd rather just gym, go home and drink water. That's all. But back to today, Back to today. So I was on a treadmill. I went on my fucking whatever the fuck you said in the interior. What I was dying. I was also busy. Like I was also like watching something on the screen that they give you. It was swimming. I'm like, let me go try watch another sport rather. Maybe cricket is on, football, baseball. Not baseball. There's no baseball here. Or what? Rugby or something. I see rugby. I'm like, yeah, I see rugby. Then I'm like, oh, female rugby. Okay, this women's rugby. Yeah, it might not be bad. Like the cameraman was showing like the what do you call it, the watchers, the spectators. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. There's quite a few spectators. And then they did a full shot, like of all the players standing for the national anthem. There's only like 20 people in the stands just sitting there. I'm like, okay.
Nah,
Okay.
maybe it was just a bad match for like one of the qualifying, like what knockout stages. Maybe there's more people.
I don't know. It was South Africa versus Japan. So, and it was in Japan, so they started playing. Like I'm like, these women, fam. I'm not gonna lie, do not look kawaii, fam. Like, Japan is all about kawaii. These women did not look kawaii at all. I just looked at them like, huh. These women, I'm not gonna lie, most probably all these women would beat the living shit out of me, fam. They are buff as
They would just pick you up and body slam you through like 2 stories.
Nah. It's not that bad, fam. I watched some of the game. The attack, I was like, but what are they doing? What are these shit ass tackles that they're doing? Like, I literally, this one Japanese player, she got the ball, started running, and this bigger lady, like, I think the quarterback, I don't know what the fuck it's called in, what we call it in rugby is, I think it's also called a quarterback, was running. Now she had the ball. She's a small girl, not a woman. So like, and then this big South African girl, like, she's like ready, and then she misses. Like, she doesn't tackle her. She just grabs the shirt and then falls on the ground. And then she just ran, and she's like, oh, okay, we're stopping now. I'm like, what's going on in this game?
Wait, who fell? Did the small girl fall? Or
No,
did
the South African, the tackler, she just grabbed the shirt and, she put her weight down to fall down.
Yeah.
But the other person didn't fall. She was like, oh, okay, we're stopping now. She just put the ball down. I'm like, what's going on? And then she kicked the ball, like, she kicked it. And then she went to the South African side. This girl, fam, she was so happy, like, she was so proud about to catch it, and then she dropped the ball into I'm like, oh, okay. So she dropped the ball, and she's like, I don't know how rugby works properly, so she dropped the ball, and then everybody moved out. I'm like, okay, that's some dumb shit going on. But my question was, what are your opinion on women's sports compared to men's sport?
Come on, Prashil, take the stage. You can start. I'll follow up.
Well, I mean, from being an ex-athlete and so on, I
Ex-athlete also.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't really see much of a difference between the two, except when there's a lot of conflict between.
Okay. Don't see a difference.
Those that are being paid. Why are men being paid more than women, for example, for the same sport and so on?
So you think that you think that they should be paid equal? Right.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, you're playing the same sport. You're doing exactly the same thing.
Isn't the pay based on the spectators, though?
Yes. This is why men's football gets paid so much more. Literally, like I was, when I was playing the thing, when South Africa males team is playing, the stadiums are full, half full, and compared to when the females are playing, 20 spectators are not gonna get you paid.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna get you paid, fam. So like this, I don't think they should be paid equally. And like you saying they should be paid. No, there's a big difference, fam. Males are physically stronger. The sports are just better, like especially rugby. Rugby is just a sport that need contact, fam. I want to see people be flying around when they get tackled. I want to see like.
But yeah, can I just interject? I think if you phrase it this way, if they should be paid the same in terms of the amount of people that come. Like, if you get paid for the 20 people, you get paid 10 rand per person, then you should have that in both the men and the female. Okay, well, obviously there can be some form of scaling. Like, if there's a big difference between having 100,000 and 200,000 people. So obviously having the 200,000 people is way more exposure to like everyone there, all of these sponsors and things. So I can understand that they get paid more, but like they should be paid according to how many people are actually there. Not just saying like, oh no, they should be paid, or men should be paid more because there's more people there.
You guys are giving some politically safe answers, eh? I do not think men and women cannot be paid equally.
You think they can't be paid equally?
No, they can't be paid equally. The men's sports are much better to watch. When was the last time any of you watched the female sport?
Oh no, I haven't. No, I've only seen like clips, like the I've seen like American football. Because they always have these like really like they play the football in like bikinis basically. So I've already seen like clips of that on YouTube.
I've seen clips of that, or clips of them just doing so bad. It's like like basketball clips of them missing and stuff.
You guys remember the like there was some like international soccer team or like women's soccer team and then they lost like a group of
Australia-
13-year-old
Australian-
boys, or what is it?
15,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
It's
okay.
Australian national team. They were fifth. They were fifth in the world. They lost to the 15-year-olds. Like, okay.
Like, yeah, obviously with that, if
that's
you have
embarrassing.
a million people streaming that and like a million people streaming the men's soccer at the same time, yeah, then they can get paid the same. But if you only have like 20 people watching the female soccer as they get thrashed by small boys, then that's not worth the money investment for anyone. So
This is so like, we can all agree. So we all, roundabout agree that women's sport is much more useless than men's sport. And then, on this topic, what do you think about trans people being in? So basically, like you for sure. You said you're an ex-athlete. We'll get back to that. I'm gonna talk more about some ex-athlete stuff. I was also an ex-athlete.
okay, wait, before we go too much into trans people, can we hold that thought for a moment?
Yeah. Go.
What do we think about? Because I do not watch F1. You guys enjoy motorsport and those type of things more than I do. So why are there so much less people of women in like F1 teams, or that I at least hear of? You always hear the main few names, or like if you're not interested in the sport. I mean,
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton. I've never seen a female driver. Yeah, I've never seen a female driver.
Because
think
it's not. Even though I do hear a lot that it is physically like grueling and demanding to do it, I'm pretty sure that because a lot of those people, they're small people. Like, isn't Lewis Hamilton really short and like those things?
No, I think he's about our height.
Yeah, fair height.
Okay, so a woman of the same like height, why aren't there as many people like that? Is there some like paywall that, or not paywall, glass wall that we don't know of? Glass roof, what is it called again?
Oh no, I think I literally no. There have been like if you go back in history, there have been female drivers. But I don't think, but of course, like in the 50s, and 50s were like, if you were driving a Formula One in the 50s, fam, I have this mad respect for you, fam.
Yeah, there were like
one
no
thing goes
safety
wrong-
precautions.
One thing goes wrong, your car is gone, you're dead. I think there's been like 3 or 4 female racers that actually raced in the F1 back in the day, and from what they saw, like they couldn't win anything. And they were really struggling with and even nowadays, I think there was a crash recently. I keep forgetting who crashed, and he suffered I think maybe 5 G-force, and that's
exactly.
so you face a lot of G-force, and you need to be continuously trained. But personally, I think it's just like one day, I don't think so. I really can't say that we'll see women in F1 for a while. This is not a sport for them. That's fucking sexist as fuck. But
That doesn't sound sexist. Yeah, of course. Like
that's
it's
how
just
they can be happy there.
yeah, because it just doesn't seem that much like a thing that would prevent females from participating to that extent. Like if you compare someone playing rugby, like if you take some of the biggest scrums on people from like South African, like the Bokke or whatever, and you put them up against the female, they're probably like a really big size difference and like muscle difference and all those things.
Yeah. I saw the teams, like when I was watching. I saw these females, right? They look more like like a buff man, just like a tall buff man, just like a bit buff. I don't know how to explain, that's like Hugh Jackman, those type. They have a very straight body, fam, but they're male, fam. Those motherfuckers
Like
are
tanks just walking around.
if you got hit by that, you'll be like, oh yeah. You will feel things in your body that you should not be feeling. Like that hurts. Like those guys are massive. Like this is why there's a very big class difference, especially in rugby. Rugby, men and women cannot play together in rugby, fam. That is a sport that's like no.
That's the
equality.
Right, in a way.
Yes, that's like equality. I'm good, fam. Equality can be out of here.
But okay,
But,
we can continue. Red, what was your question? Was it?
So it was about trans. What do you guys think about so basically, I think about men just being like, I'm a female now, I'm gonna go play rugby. So basically, let's say these massive guys, massive 300-pound. I don't know. I actually don't know what's the weight for those guys.
It should be like
How big is it?
150 or something. Is it?
150 kgs is big. I think those have a lot of muscle. So like, okay, 200 kgs, 150 kgs guys, be like, okay, now I'm gonna identify as a female and go play in the female rugby tournaments. What do you think about that, huh?
Okay, so are you talking about people that just say they now identify as, or are we talking about people that actually go through like a process of either hormones
Transitions.
or
Yeah, not bad.
operations?
Thing is, if you are a 200-pound guy, even transitioning, you're taking hormones and stuff, you still won't just lose. You see, your body won't just become smaller.
Yeah,
You know, like you will
obviously.
be that massive size still, and you'll still be annihilating people. So I don't, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, the second one, so the second one. Let's just go with the second one, transitioning and stuff. What do you think about that?
For sure, take the stage. Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It's their opinion, it's their choice. I mean,
Politically safe answers, bro.
Yeah, but no, we aren't asking if it's their choice to transition. I'm asking, should it be allowed, or should there be like another Olympics or like whatever sport it is for the trans people to participate in first, or like be in after the transition? Like they say, okay, during this stage where you just started taking your hormones, you just had your first operation, you can't participate, like health-wise permitting and everything. You can't participate until like 2 months afterwards or whatever, until like your body is stable, and like that would be the size that you would be as a female or whatever.
first option is to have it either have their own little section of sports, for them. If they, you see a lot of people when they become very, you can say body conscious maybe in a way. So yeah, it would be advisable rather have their own little section of sports, be it whatever they play, rugby, soccer, cricket, anything, and it just doesn't make them feel left out. I mean, at the end of the day, that's very big in sports. Being trans and so on, and then you get examined a lot and stuff. A bigger example could be Kasta. Semenya for her what you call it?
She's not trans. She's not trans.
Not trans, but I mean, in the sports world,
Oh,
it becomes
she
very
was blessed. No, she was blessed. Like Michael Phelps, like
Yeah.
he's blessed to have like what I think is like I don't know what he is, something with his body that he can swim faster. Same with Caster Semenya. She is just lucky to have more testosterone levels are much higher, and then she has brought it down, but she can still run faster. That is different.
Wasn't she blessed with hormone supplements?
No,
I thought it was common news then afterwards that she actually used other supplements, like injected herself with a form of steroids. I thought
I don't know. I don't
was
know
like that.
No, I don't think no. It was after like people. No, it was so basically like she was injecting after I don't know what is the Olympics committee, whatever they're called. They said no, you have to bring it down to the female level. That's when she started injecting, so she can bring it down. That's when she was. Otherwise, it was normal. That's why she was winning a lot. But I am shocked from how fucking politically correct answers I am getting from. I do not think. From the last few guests, and me talking just to you, people do not say like yeah, their choice. The people I am around most of the time is their choice. They're this, like, no.
No, we usually have quite distinct answers, and
Yeah.
I still really don't care much. But like, I don't mind people wanting to be trans or whatever.
Yeah, I also don't mind that.
Yeah, if you decide to be whatever, it's fine. But I do find it unfair for someone, and like really fucked up, if someone just says no, he or she identifies as whatever else. Like if it's just a mental thing, then you deserve to be in an asylum to an extent. Come on.
Yeah, so like I'm talking about this, like I don't know, there's some few wrestlers and a few swimmers that did this. So basically, I think they were transitioning for a year. Oh, first of all, let me just clarify. I do not give a shit. Like if you're trans, if you want to be female, whatever the fuck you want to be, you can be whatever you want to be. Unless if you want to be a kid, then you're fucking pedo and should be jailed. That's the one that I'm like, nah, fuck that shit.
That's where you draw the line. Huh?
Yeah. Otherwise, like, no, fam. What you mean, fam? What you draw the line? You like kids, so you're like.
Is that so? Huh?
Yeah. So you're fine with that, more kids for you to play with. but I'm fine with that. But like for me, like like let's say you're transitioning, you transition for a year. 1 year won't just like let's say like you're 21 and 1 year like and you start puberty at 13 or 12. So what 8 years of puberty and all this stuff happening to your body, you becoming like fully like I think like by 21, 22, like you're fully grown
Yeah,
into the
reached
person you
maturity
are.
then,
Yeah. So if you start transitioning for them to like and for like even like I think it's a rule that you have to transition for 1 year. You have to prove that your hormones or level are matching that. I still don't think like nah, that does not make a difference. You will still whip
Yeah, most
those asses.
probably.
Like these wrestlers that transition to female fan, they were not winning in the men's section. Transitioned. They were breaking records. One of them broke someone's skull. It's like okay, that's happening now. So I do not agree with all of this. Like either make a new section like male female trans, but I doubt like female sports is already struggling as hell. Like so I don't think trans is gonna be like okay. That works.
Yeah, you don't hear much of it, see much of it. No, it's not even advertised a lot very often as well. So.
Yeah.
So
I
this
certainly
is-
think that like advertisements and sponsorships, they don't help the situation. But obviously from like a financial point of view, why would you throw your money into a pit that you won't see any returns of immediately? at
politically
least?
woke, fam. Politically, look, I'm supporting these people. Now come give me your money. You can post it on Twitter. Be like,
That's true,
everybody's gonna
yeah.
be proud of you.
But still,
like-
even though I don't donate to like any of those sports, it won't make me it won't make me donate more if you go there and support the minority of the groups. Like, I wouldn't think you're some valiant knight coming in to save the day or some shit. So
I see,
Don't,
but
don't you
know,
think?
yeah, go on.
Don't you think things would have been a lot different if from those days men and women were perceived to be equal? Because a lot of people today have the mentality of men are stronger than women. That is why men's sport, by default,
So
should
wait,
be more superior.
So you're saying men and women are equal and
No,
equal in-
not in that way, but just how people look at each other.
So you-
It's like a lot of
so you're
times.
just talking
like,
about the perception.
yeah, the perception. Well, don't you think things would have been different if men and women in those days? See, a lot of people in those, like in the past, in the history times, took it as men had the final say. What
yeah,
if it
because
was?
we were stronger.
Yeah, but what if things were taken as people being equal? Men and women are seen as equal. It doesn't matter what role you do or what you do, whether if you have a say or not. But just if you looked as as if both men and women were looked at as equal people, don't you think things today would have been different in terms of sports, any department, whatever the case may be?
Do you guys know Charles Darwin, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys know what he's one of his most famous theories is?
I do, yeah, because I had to study it, quite a lot of them.
Sure.
No.
You come tell us. You can tell us then.
No, I'm listening to you. I want to correct you if you're wrong.
Survival of the fittest, fam. I know that fucking theory, fam. It's my fucking question. I wouldn't know my theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nah,
There's
because
a reason. Survival of the fittest. Like from back in the day, from cavemen, all this stuff. Men were just physically stronger, so women just followed. Like there was a physical attraction between men and women. They're like, okay, they realize, okay, I want to protect this person. I like this person. But the females also knew that, okay, this person is protecting me from this. I'll do this, and this. It's just how roles became. And then, you're saying like if back in the day, like it's just instilled in our minds, like men are just stronger with this. Men do these things, women do these things, and that's just the culture that things don't break. Like like you're saying, like let's change that. No, it's culture. It's factual culture. Like men do all the.
okay,
Have
but...
you ever met female construction worker?
No.
Exactly.
No,
See,
not
it's hard labor that women don't want to do for a reason. Men do this. Men do very extremely hard, difficult jobs, like working on the oil rigs. Like men are doing this. It's jobs
But
for
what
men.
if what if women were given the chance to prove themselves?
They
and
have.
men
They
didn't
have all the chances now. We have all the chances now. We live in
Which is-
2020, fam. This is
But the
back
thing
in the
is,
day.
why
back in the
now?
days,
2022.
Yeah, 20, but no thing is like you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Like
That's
women didn't have rights. Then they got rights,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh shit, I actually didn't want these rights. I now have to work. Like it was proven. Like okay, whatever we're saying right now, right? Like equal pay, equal rights. It only applies to America. In South Africa, it's a huge problem. Yes, there's no equality here. There's no equal pay. There's a lot of abuse. So this doesn't apply to South Africa. South Africa is a different country. I mean,
It's falling apart day by day. That's it.
Africa, Africa in general is a different. Like there was a video of this white American guy in Africa. Like how women are like, we want equal pay, we want equal rights. And these trans people, the interviewers, like he went to a tribal village. Of all the places, he went to a tribal village, and he's like, so what do you think about a man becoming who's like, no, what is this nonsense, huh? A man is a man and a woman is a woman. Woman is working in the kitchen, man is hunting. That's all we need to know. That's all. We don't do this nonsense here. And he is right, fam.
It's a way more simplistic way of viewing life, which is obviously way better.
It's the right way.
Yeah.
I think America became a problem because they have too much freedom, fam.
Yeah, and social media really helped because
yes.
once something like that spreads over the internet and more and more people are partaking in it, like either being trans or identifying as other things. Because usually you don't let's say way back in the days, like 60 years ago, you won't have that many people being openly gay or something. Because in your small community you might know one other person that's gay, and everyone else would hate them. So obviously it isn't encouraged to be gay, but nowadays they want to normalize and monopolize everything basically, and be like, yeah, you be you, and you can choose your own gender by the age of 12 or whatever it is.
Oh, it's by four.
Oh,
there was a video so basically there's a guy, right? He was interviewing people like, what age should a child be allowed to make a decision of when they can what they want to be. This idiot, he's like 8, and the next person is like 5. So it's okay. So are they fine to make it a 3 now? That's too young. So
Damn.
You can make it a 5 and 8, but not the 3 is too young. Oh, why, fam? Why stop there, fam? Let's let them decide when they were born, fam. These people are so dumb, fam. This is what happens when you have too much freedom. South Africa has freedom, man, but we also know not to be dumb. You will get fucked up here, fam. Well, but that's it's more on the more political people. We need a political person. For sure, Rashid was a nice person to have on because he just has completely different views. He has that political correct answer to give them.
You've seen the people that are feminists just to get girls.
Are you guys feminists?
No, I can understand equality, but the feminists that you hear over the internet, fuck no, they're way too crazy.
What about you, Bashir? Don't ignore ignore the American feminists. Ignore them. Proper feminists. You're not one.
Nope.
Sure.
Yep.
No equal pay, no equal rights.
Equal rights.
Yeah, equality for all.
What about you, Red? Come on. What do you think then?
I've literally been saying women are weaker than men. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, okay, but they're weaker. But don't you think that they in a job,
in
South
Africa, yeah.
Let's say you versus someone else that is also a designer of a kind, same qualifications, same year, same experience. Who should they choose? Should it be based upon their gender, or should it be based upon either how good they are at the job? If you just have a feeling to make the correct software or whatever, design it just the correct way, and the other person, even though they have the theory, they just can't put it into practice. They would put 2 colors of the same side of the spectrum next to each other.
Yeah, that's fucking useless, fam. Fuck that person.
Yes.
I'm not about that life.
So you see, you should rather be chosen upon how good you are. So if by chance it is in this case the man and the that did better, then yeah, he's more equipped for that specific job or task. So he should do it.
Yeah, but men are more likely to work overtime than women.
Yeah,
You know, we
that-
take less time off. You know, so
There's
there's
a
no
lot of
equal
things
things,
like
you know.
that.
But you
Also,
know,
just quickly back to Charles Darwin. Did you know that one
okay,
of the
see?
other like theories that he had is it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one that's the most responsive to change. So with that, it's like, yeah, the fittest survive, but it's actually the guy that decided, oh, okay, I don't want to go out at night and try to hunt for food because there are other animals there that can see better than I.
Yes,
So,
Charles Darwin was a smart man. You know, he did make some very good theories, and
I
I don't know.
think
You
he
know,
was also kind of fucked up, but okay.
everybody was so fam. It's back in what? I think it was the 1800s. I think I think that's what it is.
1869.
Okay, 1869. Okay, the 17th century. I think that's the 17th century. Yeah. You know, fuck man, people were retarded back then. Fam, you know, fucking Jesus. You know, fam, like you know, like fam, you know, people like Isaac Newton, the apple fell in gravity, fam.
Yeah,
Boom,
but the apple never
gravity.
fell on his head. That's fine.
Yeah, of course, but you know, like you just scale up, there's gravity. Child is strong, you know. He saw some birds and like strongest. You know, I keep forgetting the theory, fam. You know, survival of the fittest. You know, like you know, you know, but the smart people, but weird people.
Yeah.
But you know, like back to our host. I'm a guest, not fucking host. No one gives a shit about us. To guess, you know, you said you're an ex-athlete. What athletic events were you doing?
Well, athletics is in athletics in general. So it was your track events from your sprints to 100, 200 hurdles, relay, otherwise high jump, javelin, long jump. Discus wasn't that much, and shot put mainly, and then ex-sportsman, or I want to say ex-sportsman, but yeah, also in the sports side, tennis, cricket, hockey.
It's not
Gave up.
athletics.
It's not athletics, but also on the sports side.
Yeah. So let's talk about like you know athletics.
Wait,
Like,
wait, before you say, I think you should have rephrased your question, Red. It should have been what athletic item did you not do? Because it seemed like he named like basically everything there.
I remember Pashil not doing these things. I remember him doing the running stuff. That I think your nickname was I don't know who, either you called yourself that nickname or someone gave it to you.
No, it was
I don't know
given
your
to me
nickname.
though, because apparently you see it. Yeah, because when was it in grade? When was it? I came in grade 5 and into PEPs, and then we got into grade 6 or grade 7, and that was okay. Everything improved. Grade 8 came fine. Grade 9, and then grade 10 came, and then all of a sudden, I am now pushing much higher speeds on my track times, and people are shocked as to what happened. And it was just basic training. It was just being consistent, pushing on the treadmill. Basic gymming techniques and things.
Also, you were like gymming, training.
Yeah, I was training for the events though. So
you were training for the events. Like, did you break your personal records or what? Okay, what was your personal record? What was your best record?
Best was I think at 13 seconds something, 400 meters, and then I beat it and I pushed it up to almost 12 something. 12
Didn't someone have 10 seconds in our school? Or was it 11?
It was 11. I think it was between there's a guy Nicholas, or there's a guy also Patu as well. Those two.
I see.
But so from 13 I went up to 12. Went down especially down to 12 seconds, and managed to get.
That was good. Yeah. What about you, Goats?
So I kind of stopped with most of the athletic things when I got to high school. I think up until grade 9 I still did high jump. And for fun, I always did the javelin throws with friends and discus. And I was actually quite good at long distance. I usually did the 3Ks, 4K, and I think we had like 2 point something as well. So I usually did those ones. It was quite fun.
Stamina.
Yes. And you, right?
Yeah, I was an ex-athlete. That's all you need to know. Fucking, I was everywhere, fam. From I know. Okay, when I started, I started in grade 2, fam. Gotta go back to the roots. I was a fast kid. I was fit back then. I was slender V-shaped body. The girls were dying.
I do not believe that at all.
No. So basically, I was a fast kid. Then so what happened, right, is we were racing. I think it was like I don't know. It was I don't. I think it was like one of the towards the end of the races. You know, like in our school. I know in your school they also had it, but they had houses, but not whatever they called it. We were
yeah, the
lion, tiger.
different in the school being
Yeah.
divided up into different grades, like
Yeah,
groups,
yeah. So basically, I was like, I was in the yellow team called Tiger. We were racing back then. I was then I don't know, like once we were racing grade 2. I was like towards like the last races, and fuck, bro, I pulled my hamstring like so bad, so bad. Like literally, like it was towards the last races. I started running. I pulled my hamstring. Fuck. Started walking after that. I don't know. After that, I just don't remember. Like it's like I think it was just like like grade 2. Like no one gives a shit about that. Then grade 8, grade 9, I started doing. I was doing shot put. More shot put. That's when I had a bit of power still. I was gaining weight, and short. So so I fucking kept it. I did well. Then of course, then after that, it's just. I think it was grade 9, grade 10. I just gave up on the stuff. I did some javelin here and there. Qualified in grade 10 for javelin. Grade 11 and 12, I was there was a teacher that really liked me, and the teacher was like the head, Mr. Proctor. He was the head of all the stuff. So like he was doing all the races. So he asked me, "Hey, yo, fam, I know you're not doing shit, fam. You didn't qualify for anything."
Yeah.
So
I know you just sit in the pavilion the whole day. Come on.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, you can come help me." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure, man. I don't mind. I'd rather help. I don't want to sit in the pavilion the whole day. So I was like, "Yeah, let me help." I was, I was doing the things. And the fucking grade 8 started calling me stuff. I'm like, "Oh, damn, that's my life, huh?" I look that old. I look that fucking old. But yeah, that's me. That's me. Like, luckily, that was my only sports injury that I ever had, and then I've never been injured after that. So I'm a fucking good guy. I'm buff.
No, you just stop doing everything. You stop doing everything so you can't get injuries. But okay,
you are
fuck
jealous
off.
of me, fam. You are just jealous of me.
It's my time now to talk. Come on now. But I was talking about sports injuries. I remember in primary school, I was trying to do more of the practices for high jump. And the one time, like one of the other guys that was there, like he was a lot better than I was, and my other friend was there as well. Like they were basically like I can't remember what the right name is, but like where you jump, scissor jump, like over the pole or whatever. Priscilla, I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about.
Pole vault.
No, for high jump. Where you like run and instead of like landing on your back, you just like jump over it and then land on your feet on the other side.
Yeah, the scissor technique.
Yeah, okay. Like they were basically doing that to the different heights, and I was quite new to it at the time, and like not very confident at all. And they were like, "Ah, no, come on, let's push it up," and then they pushed it up with like 10 centimeters or something. At the time, was quite extreme. And I remember, like, they made it over, and it was my turn because my surname, which you guys, like the listeners won't know, hopefully, is at the end of the alphabet. So I was one of the last people to go. And when I did it, I ran, and I did not jump high enough, obviously, and I just like basically took the lat or like the bar with me, and I just landed on it. But I landed in between the mattresses. So like I fell further than I should have fallen, and then the metal bar or whatever was behind me, so I just landed on that and like really hurt my back, and it basically traumatized me for a while that I didn't want to do high jump.
High jump, but the worst time to do high jump is when when you're done after school. And they put those mats outside from the morning.
Yeah, those fuckers are so hot.
And it burns you. Like what? Nah. That's when a lot of guys I know, like in school, used to then do the scissor technique where you jump and land on your feet.
Yeah, so you can get off.
Dropping your ass or dropping your back on that mat. No matter what you got on, you're gonna feel it. So yeah, But
yeah, but like that's the one good thing about long jump. Is that the right name? The one with the sand pit?
Yeah, long
jump, yeah. Where it isn't as hot, but obviously I usually got like sand in my shoes and everything. or like you basically get sand everywhere if you're not careful enough, I guess. Um, but yeah, do you have any sports injuries like that, or like major ones?
The only injury I had, well, I didn't really have much of an injury from athletics itself.
Uh,
It is more like, I wouldn't say a major injury, or like if you perceive it to be a major injury, it's more like the minor stuff. You know, you're pulling your little hammy there, or twist your
uh,
ankle along the way or something. But major injuries, nah, nothing serious. I don't know about Red or you on your side.
No, I'm not sure. But like I can tell my one friend that did the high jump with us. But he was also
Mhm.
like really good. He went quite far in high school and everything. Um, but I remember him falling. I can't remember if it was on a netball like field or whatever. No, what's the field? Netball court. There's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Or if it was on Trafalgar, because he fell and like he scraped his knee open but quite badly,
Oh, jeez.
and somehow he got like a piece of rock or something into his flesh basically, and they didn't see it until like later, like after the stitches, and like he'd healed up. So I'm not sure if he still has it, but he just has like a small pebble like underneath one of his knees. It's just there.
Jeez.
It's just like I'm not sure if he removed it at some point, but
Uh-huh. Like kind of just made itself into there, and it's like it just healed around it, I'm sure.
yeah,
Something.
it just healed it. It's like okay, well now to get it out, you'll have to cut and make another, like get more stitches probably or something.
Tick.
No.
It's a sport, eh?
Yeah.
What it does to you if you're not fit, cautious, and there's a lot that can go wrong on the field,
Yeah.
on the track, rather.
Ooh, but one of the things what Red said is he helped. I helped quite a lot because I was like quite friendly with a lot of the teachers that we had. So I continuously helped with like the setup and like the admin and those type of things for the different items and events. And one of
Yeah.
them that was always fun to do was for the javelin throw is collecting the javelins, or like either collecting that or actually taking the measurement and like doing it. But there's this one guy that we had. I knew him from like primary school, early primary school,
Yeah.
and like he was always a weird person. Like you would see him from a mile away, and like he would be walking barefoot, but he would like have his toes spread out. Like that's one of his party tricks that he did.
Uh-huh.
Is like as you take your hands now and you can spread your fingers out as wide as possible. Like he
Yeah.
could do that with his toes and then like walk around like that, so it kind of looked like frog feet, like just like that all over the place. But anyway, that's that's beside the point. He really almost got impaled by a javelin the one time, because like usually, if you're there, like we have demarcated areas, like on the field that we obviously have for those events, and one of the times like we were like they were playing, I was at the back, I was collecting the javelins and things, and he was also there with me, like he was in between me and like the starting point or whatever, and he was not looking towards where the athletes were and like where they were throwing, and like usually you would expect someone to be constantly on high alert in such an area. But nah, he was just like looking, because the oval around it is what they use for the long distances and things. It's like a regular field or track, whatever. I think it's 400 meters, right? Around, yeah.
Yeah, one lap around is 400.
Yeah. So we had that around. So he was like looking at the people running around. And the thing, like I screamed at him because I was looking at, obviously, at the javelin coming. And I screamed at him. And instead of like looking towards where like the athletes were, he just like ducked down without like dodging out of any direction. And the thing, I like either just from my perspective, but the thing really only barely missed him and like hit the ground right behind him, But like if that's true, I would have like tried to jump as far away as I can, like in one of the directions. But no, he just like ducked down slightly and was like, this will be enough, right?
Yeah, javelin is one of those sports where everybody just like, okay, they want to try different things, and anything can go wrong with javelin. But yeah, the good old days. Trust me, I miss sports from school times. Like you're amongst your friends, you're amongst your own, and things. It's just like the good old days. And now it's like okay, it's like you're even just too lazy to even go to the gym as well. Yeah.
I'm not sure how strict your school was on like spirit, if you want to call it that. Like everyone being on the pavilion and shouting for their team.
Oh, yes, we were strict though. We'd have you should have your three different houses, Zeus, Poseidon, and Apollo.
Yeah.
And you'd have obviously your seniors. So if you anywhere between grade 8 and grade how can I say 8 and 10 roughly. In grade 10 and 11 you consider the senior. But between grade 8 and grade 10 you'd have your matrix, and some of them would be the cheerleaders or the prefects and the stuff. And yes, they hunt you down. If you why are you at the tuck shop? What are you doing there? If you're not buying anything, get back to the stands and this and that. And it's like
go shout out your lungs.
Very strict. Yeah, and sometimes you get those students, right? Those students that just tick you off. They'd go specifically tell the teacher or the teacher who's in charge of the specific house. Listen here, there's this group of students that are doing A, B, and C. Go and get them. And angry people used to get. It's like really frustrating. Like why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? I mean, at the end of the day, we all are friends. We all know each other. Why you just, what can I say?
Why would you snitch in that situation?
Snitch on us, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but you know what? Those were the days. I guess everybody learned their
because
like and all those things.
I can identify with that as well. Like I actually quite enjoyed the spirit. I did not enjoy it being like forced down your throat to be there the whole time. But like even in primary school when I was one of the prefects, I was a prefect and a cheerleader, like whatever you want to call them. So I was always like on the field and like trying to get people to come along and sing, and I had to be there and get new songs and everything. So it was always fun to do those things. But we had 4 groups in our school, 4 major groups, and I'm not going to translate the names now because that's way too much work. But we were basically named after different storms or like those type natural occurring events to do with the wind and those natural disasters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like we had set times where you can be on break, but as well we were divided into colors. You had to wear a specific color on the day. So like we usually had red, yellow, blue, and white. Was the 4 colors. So you had to wear clothing items like a shirt and pants of the same color, and that's how they usually identified the people that shouldn't be on break. So like you would have people like patrolling the school grounds like all over the place. If you're like, let's say the white team, which was usually my team, if you guys are on break and they see a red guy in between you, then they fucking chow that guy. They like chase them back and like give you guys a talking to because you are like encouraging this bad behavior of not being on the field or not being there, helping, shouting random songs at the people participating. But, then people got really clever, or not clever, I guess, but like some people would bring in other sets of clothes. So like if the blue team is on break now, they would change their shirts to a blue shirt and then go with that. And that works until you get to like a teacher or someone else who knows you personally and was like, wait, you're not in the blue team, and then they try to give you shit for that as well. So.
Yeah, and I used to take advantage of those times, when everybody was cheerleading and things. I just go put my athletic shoes on and say, okay, I'm heading down to the track, I'm heading to the field. I wouldn't sit there. I mean, to sing those songs, and sometimes you just hear it, it's like, nah. Doesn't make sense. I'm not up for it. So sometimes you like kind of like lie and be like, okay, no, I've got an event that's happening now. I've got an event happening later. Or I've got to go warm up and things.
Yeah, we usually use warm-ups.
Yeah, everyone used to use it, but you know what? That's how we all done, our ways around, getting our ways around school and around our teachers. And yeah.
So I see you guys are, like us prefects and dumb shit. I know. Fuck. I heard you were a cheerleader, God.
Yes.
Jesus. I knew you were gay.
Is that
I
so?
always knew she's your cheerleader is something for females only, but okay. Okay.
No. I just don't know what the
Ah,
other name is for it. We don't use cheerleader.
War cries
what the
or
fuck?
not? I don't know.
No, like the name for the
Cheerleading
actual
songs,
people being there at the front.
cheerleaders.
Yeah, but is there another name for it? Because Red says it's too gay.
It's not called cheerleader. So
What,
I'm pretty sure. But anyway, guys, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. God is gay. We all know that. It's been confirmed many times on this episode, on this podcast, episode.
Yeah.
But anything else, guys? Closing remarks from you.
No. Just thanks again for having me.
Thanks for
Nice.
coming on, Coach.
Yeah.
I do not have much to say. I want to hear what Red's outro is like. So.
Outro. No. It's a very simple outro.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
No, go ahead. Oh wait, I guess well, thanks everyone for listening. I just want to say thank you for Prashil for coming on again.
A pleasure.
And Red, I don't have to thank you for anything because you just give me trouble, so it's fine.
But yeah, guys. So thank you for listening. This has been fuck. This has been your.
Yes, we
Your
have a
host.
name.
This has been your host. Oh fucking hell, man. I am hitting a blank right now. Like I legit cannot read apparently.
So you
Oh,
don't
thank
have
you for
an
listening.
outro, huh?
No, I actually don't have an outro. I put all my brain power into the intro.
That's really depressing to hear. If that was all your brain power.
Yeah. Thank you for listening again to TEAP, the Extreme Irish Podcast, with your hosts, the fabulous, the great, Red, and the guy, GOAT. We
He's
thank
also
you
here,
for listening. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Cheers.